I don't think I've ever come out of the office in these 10 years not being pain-free. After his first treatment, he said, "Do you hurt?" And I had to stop and think and move around, and I said, "Oh my gosh. No, I don't hurt." What I have found out is more of a repair from the temporary that I was receiving. This is more lasting. As Dr. A puts it, he says, "I'm just a tool, and God's the one who does it." So it's kind of cool. I used to have extreme migraine headaches, and since our meeting, I don't have any. None. And some people just resign themselves to be in that pain. You don't need it. You don't have to. So I've learned quite a bit about my body and about how to take time to listen to it, just like you might listen to God. I'm all for spreading the good news and telling them that there's someone who can help.
My daughter had a really bad asthma episode at Christmas one year, and I was like, no, I'll just need to get in here. So never knowing when I left the house if I could get where I was going and get back home before she would need a breathing treatment. Never knowing what was going to flare it up and how bad it was going to be. And, even when she was a baby, we were in the hospital 2 or 3 times. And then that one Christmas, it was really bad. So, yeah, just, and now, we can leave and come back. And I'm not always thinking, oh, I haven't got time to, and sometimes trying to race home, speeding to get there to get her medicine, I'm thinking, oh, God, I pray I don't get a ticket, So, yeah, so we don't have to do all that now. It's not as stressful and, worrisome, and it's a lot easier. Yeah. Christopher, I've seen the most dramatic results as well as Kelsey, but he would constantly stay stopped up. It was just, he sounded like he's talking to his nose all the time, and just sneeze and a lot of mucus, and I would hate it for him because he couldn't breathe good. And then after we brought him in, he started getting adjusted. I remember that first week he started sleeping better. He didn't have the little purple eyes, and he was going around smelling everything. And he said, I can smell stuff. He was smelling everything in the house. It just made me want to cry because he was just smelling everything. The results we've seen have been awesome. And, to go back where we were, I wouldn't want to go back where we were. It's much better.
Oh, it's horrible. I couldn't walk. I was on a walker in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. They had told me that I needed back surgery. And I went to do it, and they wouldn't put me to sleep because they said it would kill me. So I just threw my hands up and said, that's it. And I come down here thinking, this probably won't work. And so help me, the first treatment it did. I actually walked out of the room that day without my walker. And it just kept getting better and better and better. I'm 70 years old, and I thought I was done for. But now, life's just been a lot better.
Well, I had a car wreck when I was about 17. I got rear-ended, and it caused a herniated disc in my neck and another one in my lower back. And so I would have these horrible headaches that would just kind of start at the back of my head and move forward. And basically, the only thing I could do to get rid of them was to go to sleep. And then I would wake up the next day, and usually they'd be gone, sometimes not. And so that was basically what I was living with. So he did my first adjustment, and it was, I would say, I could feel an instant difference. It was one of the best decisions I made because it really has helped me so much in being able to enjoy my life more. I just couldn't understand how it would be as helpful as it truly is.
I had chronic back problems
resulting from my pregnancy. My daughter had severe constipation, and the doctors and traditional medicine couldn't figure it out. Their solution was to give her Miralax constantly. So that didn't really help anything. It was really not a pleasant time. So, and my back would periodically go out, and I couldn't even move. So, and my son, he was having asthma symptoms, and so basically the whole family. My husband was having allergy symptoms. So we were all in need. After a good 6 months anyway, you could see huge improvement.
The reason I came was because I was at my wit's end because I was experiencing vertigo, and which was going on probably for about, on and off, about a year. It just kept getting worse and worse. And he did the adjustment, which was wonderful. It was just like, I describe it like my granddaughter comes over and says, "Stay with my ear," and that was it. The results are phenomenal. I mean, I'm just in awe of the things that just go away. I kept focusing on the vertigo, but I didn't realize that all these other things were going away. Like sleeping, I sleep good now, The purpose, I know, bottom line, is to get us to where we can do what God has for us.
Whether I had 2 bulging discs, C5 and C6 in my neck, and I was in excruciating pain, on all kinds of meds. They tried me morphine, that didn't work. They tried Lyrica, took the maximum dosages, and I couldn't function because of the pain. And I had a schedule for a neurologist, a lady from our church, gave us your information. And so we decided the Monday before our Tuesday appointment with the neurologist, come by and give this a shot and see what happened. After about 3 or 4 weeks, I was off the pain meds and have not gone to the neurologist and feel good. I am probably physically stronger now than I was 3 years ago.
My mother, having had a massive stroke 3.5 years ago, had been going downhill quickly. Just over time, losing a lot of muscle tone, what she had left. And the most noticeable being when we're setting her in her wheelchair, we use a lift and a sling to move her, and she's totally paralyzed on her left, and her back doesn't support herself. But the chair will hold her up, and her head would just continue over time to have a harder and harder time not succumbing to the left paralysis. And with the first alignment, the first day, because you take x-rays and you get your first adjustment, the first set of x-rays were real difficult to hold her head in line enough to get the x-rays, but then once she had her very first alignment, took her back in, worked the wheelchair around when we got the other x-rays, and didn't have any problem helping her holding her own head up. And that has gotten better even with time.
When my son, who is now 16, was younger, he would be, when he was out of adjustment, he would just be a little grouch. Everything that came out of his mouth was negative. No, 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 didn't want to be here. And as soon as we got him adjusted, he was an entirely different child. He would come out happy and friendly and cheerful and talking. And my daughter, who is 9 now, she is just a little accident prone. She's had basketballs that are in the head, and she has more of a physical aches and pains type of a symptomatic picture, whereas his was all emotional and things like that. I have worked with Dr. Ray and Dr. Mary since they graduated from Coleman College. I just love them. They're so cool. We have the best patients ever here. I love seeing them come in and they're hurting and they don't feel well. And by the time they leave, they're happy, they're cheerful, they're feeling better, they're walking taller and straighter, and they're not dealing with pain like that.
When I started education here, I had really severe low back pain. I had broken my arm when I was 4, and I had done 3 varsity sports through school, and I, played anything that I could get a hold of, and I was here with brothers, and we were all rambunctious and adventurous, and had a great time together. And I really put a lot of wear and tear on my spine, and I
was sick a lot as a kid. I noticed that my health was greatly improved. It was just like a year and a half between the last time I was sick. You have that problem? Oh, well, we can take care of that. You just come in. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of it. You'll feel much better when you leave. You'll feel great when you leave. And that's wonderful. Everyone wants to make sure that everyone else is feeling good and comfortable where they are. And that was really a blessing. I had never had that before. Bare minimal, you will sleep better and have more energy. And just that will make a world of difference in your life. It's really cool to get to see that, but it's a very easy, very gentle process when you go through any kind of nutrition care.
The best part will probably be just all the people and just seeing, like, these people who have been in so much pain and have lost hope, and then they just, like, come here and, like, when they first walk in the door, you are greeted with a smile and you see that they're ready to get help, and it's just great to see them actually be helped without being in pain and just, like, being poked and prodded, and just, I mean, the people that work here also just have, like, a great, like, way about them, and they're just the genuine people who actually care.
I started here when I was about 14, so before then I missed a lot of school for stress or at least something like SATs and important testing like that. So missing a lot of class and school and stuff, and ever since I've been here, I haven't had to do any of that. So it's simple and easy, and it just makes life a whole lot easier. You wake up rested and refreshed and ready to go. And there's a lot more personal care as far as, you're not just a member or a patient who comes in every once in a while. People we see are coming in pretty regularly, and you walk in the door and you get Julie saying hi and your first name, and you know everyone knows who you are and they take care of you like family. So I think that's the main difference, is just the love and the atmosphere, as well as how easy they care.
I used to have a lot of problems with some bulging discs, and after even like 6 months of care, I had been outstanding somewhere on cement for a whole couple of days, actually, and had no problems. In fact, my husband said, your back hasn't been hurting, has it? And I was like, wow, no. And there was another time that I remember I came in and I had trouble with asthma, and was having some real challenges breathing, and came into work, and finally around noon, because I kept coughing and still kept struggling, they did a correction, and within 30 minutes, I was breathing okay, I wasn't coughing. It was just like, thank you, Lord. And I haven't had to use inhalers at all this winter, at all. So it has been awesome for me. There's no reason for you to be hurting. So please, come in, let us help you with that. And so it's just exciting to be a part of that, and to